What is your American dream?
My American dream is to be great.
My American dream is to be a singer.
My American dream is to own a company.
My American dream is to be able to say whatever I want to say.
My American dream is to become a famous rapper.
My American dream is world peace.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Brad Show Live. My name is Brad Bernstein, and somewhere out in the universe are my two very good friends, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias and Vanessa, Ness-Quick, Contreras, better known as my co-hosts and my good friends. How are you guys doing?
Amazing.
Happy belated Thanksgiving. I did text you both happy Thanksgiving, but now you are hearing it from my voice as well.
It's better to see it come out your mouth.
Yeah. And we're back.
And we're back. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you all tomorrow. And Vanessa, how are you?
I'm well. I had a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Just, very small family. And it was nice. I mean, not too many of us this year. Things were a little different. There were some people FaceTimed.
Right.
That's 2020, right?
That's right. And what we have learned so far post-Thanksgiving is that anything coming out of Uncle Brad's mouth sounds dirty and should be saved for Hump Day, right? Even if it's even if it's just my words, right? It just comes out. It just comes out wrong, right? Just comes out wrong. Just comes out all wrong. Yo, how was your Thanksgiving? I'm only kidding around. How was your Thanksgiving, man?
Mine was good too.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was able to spend it with my best friends.
Right.
I did a whole Zoom party for the first time with our whole family, so that was interesting. Trying to teach them how to use Zoom. So, I mean, like we said, it's the new normal. So we made the best out of it.
Wait, wasn't your Thanksgiving dinner in like a penthouse, like with a whole view? Didn't you have like a whole bougie Thanksgiving? Wasn't that your thing?
That was after. Oh.
That was the Friendsgiving.
Oh.
The Friendsgiving was at the penthouse, and then the real Thanksgiving was at a friend's apartment.
Now, I want you to know something. I have been there trying to teach my family, especially my parents, how to Zoom. All right? And, when we get the video, they can't figure out the volume. When they get the volume, they can't figure out the video.
My gosh, a headache.
Why don't I see anybody? I see nobody.
Right.
You've been through all of that, right? And I, by the way, I took, nobody in my family wanted to get together. I assume that was in many families.
Really?
Yeah, everybody was scared of COVID. Nobody wanted to get around the table. We even thought about testing before we went to see each other and have a big family gathering. But then we all decided, you know what, it's best that everybody do their own thing. So I just took my two children out because Uncle Brad don't know how to cook a turkey. No, I don't have any idea how to cook a turkey. I know how to eat a turkey, but I can't cook one. So I took my two kids out to a restaurant, and I took my ex-wife out because she had nowhere to go. So I said, come along, because we get along well still. And the four of us, as the prior old family and part of my, my kids are still part of my family. We all went out, the four of us.
That sounds nice, Brad.
It was nice. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. Every so often.
Of course
so
you
much
are.
gratitude.
Yes. Well, it was Thanksgiving, right? And you know what? And why not? Because she's a good mom to my kids. So why shouldn't I give her? Why shouldn't I give her gratitude, right? All right. So
we're thankful for the squad.
Let's say hello to the squad. Yeah, you know what? It's been a week. For a second, I'm like, all right, what am I supposed to do next? Let's say hello to the squad. Jessica Levy, how are you? Deion Watson, squad up. Moya Douglas saying squad up, family. Latoya, his forever Peterson, what's going on? Myrtle Ray, squad up. Mel Richards saying, hey, Uncle Brad, Hadi Sharaj, always the best. So don't forget the rest. Howie, it sounds like that's a pizza box. He took that right off the pizza box, right? You've tried the best. Well, you've tried the rest, now try the best. Right? That's off the pizza box, right? Jojo
and it's
Nelly.
not even Thursday.
And it's not even Thursday. Jojo Nelly, squad up, guys. How are you? Kavon McLennan saying, squad up, Uncle Brad. Jessica Kalimi, what's going on? Lisa Bling Rose. Tamika Nelson saying, hey, y'all. Red Row hit. Red Row. I like that name. Red Row. Elizabeth Francis, I think I said. Carol Anderson, the Tiger. So many more people. Sabrina Nunez, how are you? And Natisha Gordon, what do you want to say, my dear? Did I hear somebody say something?
Nope.
I felt like I heard something too, though.
Am I just imagining? I thought you had a.
That was actually you. It was actually you because I'm on live on my phone. So
I thought everybody was stopping me for a public service announcement. So okay,
nope.
I will continue. No public service announcement. Ma Dukes, how?
It's you listening to you.
It's me listening to me. I interrupted myself. Ma Daniel said hello, Dawn Harriet, and Tammy Scarrett Brown. Let's go over to YouTube, see who's watching on YouTube. Asila Enot, squad up. Carol Anderson, the Tigress 2 Anderson. I see her double fist. And Millie Job saying hi, Brad. Kiki. Oh, and anyone named Kiki is always cute or pretty, right? I've never met an ugly Kiki ever. Ever in my entire life. Of all the Kikis I've met, they're all... You want to have a pretty child?
I know a couple cute.
Just name your child Kiki. Name him Kiki. Boy or girl, doesn't matter. All good-looking Kikis. Saddy, hi, squad up. It's just my personal observation. Maybe there is an ugly Kiki out there. I haven't come across them yet. And you might keep looking. I'm telling you, keep looking. Kiki, Kiki, by the way, saying she's beautiful too, or he. I don't know if it's a he or she. No, Kiki's a woman. She is beautiful. I just looked at her picture.
She's beautiful.
She is beautiful. And why don't you tell everybody what we need to do while I get ready for some schmoozing?
Absolutely. All right, let's talk to the beautiful squad. Just not Kiki, but the whole squad is beautiful. You guys, it's so good. It feels so good to see you guys. It's been a week since we've been out. Now, we need you guys to get to work like we're getting to work. I need you guys all to please join the Brad Squad. Everybody on all social media platforms. It's super easy. Just go in the search engine in Facebook and put Brad Squad. You will see another page where you actually have to request to come in and become a VIP member, all right? The best thing that you can get from that, you'll get different videos and stuff that we'll put on there that we won't put on other social media platforms. But the best thing, you could put in your question anytime throughout the day. You wake up early, you go into work, throw in your question. We will guarantee that we will ask the first 5 people that put in their questions in the VIP page on Facebook. We will ask those first 5 questions before any one of the social media check-in questions. All right? Now, like I said, it's time to go to work. What we need you guys to do is share. Everybody, this is the first day back. So this is the most crucial time for you guys to share. So everybody knows that we are back in action. All you have to do is click that little arrow, share it to anyone's page. You could share it in an inbox. You could copy that link. You could send it in a text message blast. Like I said, I have a whole friends and family text message group that I send that link to every day that we go on. That's what you guys need to be doing as well, all right? Now, also put in your questions right now. It's the beginning of the show, so it's a better chance that we will answer it if you put in your questions right now. We love the interaction, of course. We love to hear what you guys did for Thanksgiving. Let us all know. What did you guys do for Thanksgiving? What are you thankful for? All right, we love that interaction because, like I said, it helps with the algorithm, but it also builds us together as a family. We are all a big family. This is a huge community that we need your help to bring other people back into this as well. All right, now, Ness-Quick, what are we going to do on YouTube?
Okay, squad, we missed you so much. So glad to have you back. And like Yo-Yo said, put it in the comments. Let's hear what you guys were doing for Thanksgiving. What were you grateful? We love to have those conversations. But most importantly, on YouTube, you should already be subscribed to the channel and make sure that you turn. Was there a PSA?
Yes, there is a PSA. There is a PSA because you asked what people are thankful for. So I don't know if you saw the night of Thanksgiving. I want to read what I was thankful for because I actually gave thought to it. So it was a very good segue. I was going to do it later, but now that was a very good segue. So on Instagram, I wrote it. I gave thought to this. I had 2 tequilas, you know, and after 2 tequilas, my mind is really working. I mean, if you want Uncle Brad at his sharpest, hand me 2 tequilas. So this is what I
sign me up to, Uncle Brad.
Exactly. I think all 3 of us. That's why we get along.
Absolutely.
So this is what I was thankful for, by the way, and I do want to hear what people were thankful for because it was a very tough year. And I actually wrote it. I wrote, you know, it's been a tough year for everyone in the world, and you know, we should be thankful for what we have rather than what we are missing, because everybody can point to something that we're missing, but we can't all point to things that we're thankful for because sometimes we have, you know, blinders on and we can't think about all the wonderful things that we should be thankful for. So I wrote a partial list that was off the top of my head. I wrote this on Instagram. I wrote, you know, for me, what I was thankful for was good health, freedom of religion, that I can practice my religion and others can practice theirs, at least certainly in the United States. My parents are alive, my beautiful family, my wonderful children, learning from my mistakes because certainly I've made plenty of them, an opportunity to get an education and help people with that education. So I took my education, I used it to help the world. Having a home, having a roof over my head, breathing, I'm alive. The ability to read, which is what I'm doing right now, the ability to sleep, safety and security, a bed to sleep in, sunshine most of the days, clean water to drink, a cell phone, which you can't apparently live without these days, love from my friends, my family, my coworkers, squad, books. I love to read. The kindness of strangers, art. It's beautiful to look at art. Holidays, travel, freedom of speech, wisdom, eyesight, my mind, diversity, electricity, heat and air conditioning, hearing, learning every day, the oceans, the mountains, medicine. I mean, because we're gonna get a COVID vaccine soon. Vaccines, warm clothes, and the love of everybody who I come in contact with. So to me, you know, as I was looking back, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Ness-Quick, but as I was looking back, and I apologize because I know it's rude sometimes when I give my public service announcement, so I apologize. But, you know, when I was looking back at what a horrible year we had, I said, well, what do I have to be thankful for? And those were just things off the top of my head. And I could have probably went on forever, but that was just off the top.
The list goes on and on.
It goes on and on and on. So everybody, no matter your lot in life, if you're alive and you're watching this show right now, there's something to be thankful for. You can see, hopefully, you can hear.
Absolutely.
You're breathing. You know, things could be worse. You could be 6 feet under the ground.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So, you know, let's be thankful for what we have. And I don't mean to interrupt you, Ness-Quick. And now, by the way,
that's good. That's a good thing.
That was a great interruption.
Thank you.
I'm actually not upset at it.
All right. Thank you. And by the way, and now, you know what also we have to be thankful for? Getting into the Christmas and New Year's holiday, or if you celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever celebrations you have at the end of the year, there's always that, right?
Yes. I'm excited about that.
All right, continue, Ness-Quick. My apologies to you.
No worries. So now that we were filled with gratitude from Brad Squad, so all we need from you guys at this moment on YouTube, number one thing, we need you guys to subscribe to the channel, and right next to that, you'll find a notification bell. Make sure that you click that so you know when Brad Show is live Monday through Friday, especially on Fridays when we do our pop-ups. You don't want to miss us then, but you need to turn on the notification to know when we are live. You'll also see right next to the subscribe that there is an arrow to share. Share, share, share. You can click that share arrow and you can copy the link, send it out in a text message, send it out in a group message to a WhatsApp group. Let people know that the show is live right now and that we will be answering immigration questions for free. You never know when there's someone out there that has a question and doesn't have the source, and that's exactly what we're here for. So you could be that person that connects them to all the answers that they need to bring them more gratitude and more peace into their day-to-day. There's still so many people that don't know all the great things that we're doing here on Brad Show Live. So be that person to share. Go ahead and click that share button in order to let the word be known and let people know about the show. Please comment as well. Let us know on there. Ask your questions. The Brad Squad is behind the scenes grabbing those for social media check-in later on. So make sure that you put in your questions in the comments right now. And we want to hear from you guys. All different things. So put it in there. Me and Yo-Yo are in the comments. But most importantly, on YouTube and everywhere, we need to get those thumbs up. If you like what you see here, if you're here day to day, if you're a loyal Brad Squad VIP member, give us those thumbs up, because that lets YouTube know that we're doing great work here, that you guys like what you're seeing. So then if you like what you're seeing, we'll get so much more exposure to people on this platform. And that's all we want, is to reach the masses and answer as many immigration questions as we can get to help as many people as we can. Of course, if you can't catch a whole 2-hour show, you can catch us on Instagram at Brad Show Live, where we share the best snippets of our show. So make sure that you follow us there, that you're liking our posts. And every now and again, if you ask a question through our direct message, we'll be able to get those too for social media check-in, or someone in the squad will make sure to get that question answered. So send your friends there, send the squad there. Make sure you follow us. We're also on Twitter at Brad Show Live. So stay in tune with everything that's happening. If you're following us on multiple platforms, you'll always be informed with all the great things happening here on Brad Show Live. So let's get right into it. Schmoozing with Brad.
And by the way, squad, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, they're serious. They want to hear, I want to hear what everybody's thankful for. So what we're going to do, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, I'm going to ask you to pull out your favorite Thanksgiving thoughts by the squad before we get into Fuzzy Monday. I'll let you, and I want to hear, because I don't have a chance to read them because I'm doing schmooze. So why don't you share them with everybody? You collect a few of them and you'll share them with us before we get into our Fuzzy Monday.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, by the way, in the news, another thing to be thankful for, Vanessa and Yo-Yo. All right,
give it to us.
Donald Trump, while we were on vacation for Thanksgiving, he finally gave up and acknowledged that Joe Biden is the apparent winner.
So he stopped counting.
He still thinks he was cheated out of the presidency. He's still suing to overturn the vote, but it doesn't look like those lawsuits are going anywhere. I mean, he sued in Pennsylvania. The judges, blasted him a new hole where, poop comes out of. They said it was an absolute joke and a farce that Trump would actually even go into court and say that the election was stolen from him and make all these allegations, yet have no facts to back it up. He says, by the way, today, Arizona certified Biden as the winner. Wisconsin certified Biden as the winner. While we were on vacation, Georgia certified Biden as the winner. And by the way, Georgia's run by Republicans. Okay? So it was good to see. It was very good to see that, despite our partisanship here in the United States of America, people, as much as Trump tries to break our democracy, there's a very, very deep-rooted tree of democracy. It's hard to just, break that tree down, because our roots go down for so long. So even Republicans who are running the state acknowledged and certified, despite Trump trying to say otherwise, that Biden was the winner in Georgia as well. Trump, by the way, says, as of today, he says he's still going to be suing into the Supreme Court, but I don't think we should lose much sleep over it. I looked at the lawsuit. The lawsuit is to go into Supreme Court is so that they could amend their complaint to bring more allegations of fraud in Pennsylvania. So even if he goes into Supreme Court and he wins in the Supreme Court, all that's going to happen is the Supreme Court says, okay, you can go back to federal court and amend your complaint. By that time, by the way, by that time, there's a drop dead date, which we'll never have to talk about this. Which is
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for working with a law professional to break this all down.
So the drop dead date is December 8th. Okay, that's the safe harbor date. So all the courts have to decide on the election by December 8th. After December 8th, that's it. It is what it is. The states are certified. There's no more court cases. and then the Electoral College will get together and certify the votes, and Biden is going to be the president. So, unfortunately for the few Trump supporters who may be watching us, and maybe there's a few Trump supporters watching us, you never know. Unfortunately, it appears that your candidate is just simply going to run out of time. And maybe his case from Pennsylvania will make it to the Supreme Court, and they'll say, okay, you could go amend your case, but by that time it's 8 days from now, and we're done. And that is it. And if there's a lesson to be learned in all of this, the wheels of justice move very, very slowly. So it's really almost, unless there was outright fraud, which they couldn't point to, Trump can't go on. It basically was going on a fishing expedition looking to find fraud when he didn't have any. So that's basically what happened. So the good news for Thanksgiving is that Joe Biden is going to be our president. And the General Services Administration began paying his staff for the transition. So now the transition is getting on the way. And Donald Trump is sharing, I'm missing some cards, is sharing the daily intelligence briefing with Biden. So he's now up to date on what's going on, as long as what the government knows is what's going on around the world, with all our secret stuff going on around the world, and coronavirus and all the secret things that, us normal people wouldn't know about. So he's getting updated on intelligence as well. Meanwhile, he has made some announcements for some cabinet leaders. The head of the Homeland Security is going to be a gentleman by the name of Alejandro Mayorkas. He is a immigrant advocate. He was praised by the Department of Homeland Security leaders, who described him as a savvy department veteran who tried to stabilize the organization after years of turmoil under Trump. Now, Mayorkas is Cuban. He's Jewish. He fled Castro's communist revolution in 1959. He's the first immigrant and first Hispanic American to lead the Department of Homeland Security, provided that the GOP-controlled Senate will confirm him. Mayorkas tweeted, "When I was very young, the United States provided my family and me a place of refuge. Now I have been nominated to be the Department of Homeland Security Secretary and oversee the protection of all Americans and those who flee persecution in search of a better life for themselves and their loved ones." He followed, saying it's an honor to be nominated and that he will work to restore faith in our institutions and protect our security here at home. Meanwhile, while we were away also, the first of probably thousands and thousands of pardons. I mean, I think Trump is going to be the pardon president. What do you guys think? I think he's going to be pardoning everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if Tiger King gets pardoned. So? Oh, yeah. Trump, he loves it. He loves pardoning people because he makes him the king. He loves being the king.
There's a couple rappers trying to get pardoned right now with Trump right before he leaves office.
Yeah.
Kodak Black is a rapper. He's trying to get out.
So he pardoned Michael Flynn. Michael Flynn was his original national security advisor, who lied to the government about his contacts during the Russia investigation. The thing that's going to be very interesting is if Trump pardons his family members. Maybe he pardons Don Jr., maybe he pardons Jared Kushner. And then the question becomes, can you do a pardon before anybody's even charged with a crime? I don't know. As much of a law professor as I am, I don't have the answer to that. I'm not that,
right.
I'm not that versed in every aspect of law. I don't know,
law.
Can you pardon somebody before they've even been charged with a crime? Or does the pardon mean that you have to be convicted? Because I guarantee you, before, I would say 50-50, I don't want to guarantee you, but 50-50 he goes to pardon his family, yet they haven't been charged with anything yet.
Wow.
And then will that pardon cover?
It shouldn't be able to. It shouldn't. That's not fair.
You shouldn't be able to pardon your family. You shouldn't be able to pardon people that you were in a conspiracy with to break the law.
It makes no sense.
That part.
I mean, Donald Trump was conspirator number one in the Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen went to jail only because Donald Trump's the president. But he was like the conspirator who told him to go pay Stormy Daniels $200,000, which was an illegal campaign manipulation of his money.
Wow.
So he's a co-conspirator. We don't know what he's a co-conspirator of yet because he's still the president. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens after he leaves office. Now, two things he's doing is, let's assume he pardons everybody. Can he pardon himself? Can he pardon his family members? Can he pardon people who haven't been convicted of a crime yet? But two things that he is doing is he's trying to maintain control of the Republican Party because he feels that if he controls the Republican Party, he can cause a lot of political disruption should he or his colleagues or his family be investigated or be tried for crimes while he was in office. The other thing is assuming that he can pardon himself, which I don't know he can, or assuming he can pardon his family members. It's never been tried before. Nobody's been that audacious.
Right.
But pardons only cover federal crimes. They don't cover state crimes. And right now, the Manhattan District Attorney and the New York State Attorney General, and perhaps there's other states that are investigating him too that I don't know off the top of my head, but I certainly know the Manhattan District Attorney is investigating him for tax fraud and the Trump Organization for tax fraud. You may remember they went up to the Supreme Court and tried to get his tax returns, and the Supreme Court said that Trump has to give them over to the Manhattan District Attorney's office to submit to the grand jury. I believe that after he's out of office, the district attorney is going to charge him with something. I believe that the New York State Attorney General is going to charge him or perhaps his family members or who knows. Okay, but they didn't go through a 2-year investigation and take a case all the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States to say, nah, we're not going to do anything. I would find that hard to believe. I think they're just waiting for him to be out of office. But whatever pardons he gives, even the pardon to Michael Flynn, even the pardon if he pardons Manafort who's in jail, or he pardons anybody else, it doesn't cover what the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is doing, doesn't cover what the New York State Attorney General is doing, because pardons are only covered federally, not by the state. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Biden is making noises over there. By the way, Yo-Yo, I want to congratulate you.
You guys can't go a whole week without being here. You're like extra silly when you come back. You guys are so fun.
I know. It's like we have extra energy, right? By the way, Yo-Yo, congratulations on getting the right microphone now. Your volume is perfect.
He is flawless today.
You are flawless. Right?
This is a new mic.
I want you to know the microphone is as flawless as the skin on your face. That's how flawless it is, all right? It is perfect. Perfect!
I love hearing that.
Perfect!
I love hearing that from you, Brad.
Meanwhile, Biden is nominating a lot of women, Vanessa, to the cabinet. Janet Yellen is going to be...
kind of move.
Yes, Janet Yellen, she is going to be the Treasury Secretary. She's going to be the first person, or the first woman, put in charge of the Department of Treasury in 231 years, which means she'll be the first one in the history of the United States to run the Treasury Department. In choosing Yellen, who was the first woman to also lead the Federal Reserve, Biden is turning to a renowned labor economist at a moment of high unemployment when millions of Americans remain out of work. She is likely to bring a long-held preference for government help to help households that are struggling economically. He also nominated Avril Haines as the first woman to be the Director of National Intelligence. He also nominated Linda Thomas Greenfield to be the ambassador to the United Nations. She will be she is a woman and an African American, and she'll be the first. She's not going to be the first female African American because Rice was also there, but also showing that there's a lot of diversity in his cabinet. I was about to say she's probably going to be the first, but then I forgot.
Condoleezza.
Condoleezza Rice, but also under Obama, there was she was also
Valerie. Valerie Jarrett.
I just went blank on her name, but I'll think of it in a second. But she was also considered to be the vice president under Kamala Harris, before Kamala Harris was chosen. What else is happening here? He announced an all-female White House communications team. Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris on Sunday announced an all-female White House senior core communications team, including former Obama White House Communications Director Jen Psaki as the press secretary. So he is surrounding himself with lots and lots and lots of women.
I love that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in related news, NBC reports that the White House stopped the Justice Department from striking a deal to get family psychologists involved to deal with the mental health ramifications of children who are separated from their parents during the family separations of 2019. If you remember, they were separating children from their parents. They were bringing the children into one jail, parents into another, as a way, and this was back in 2019, they're probably still doing it today, as a way to prevent people from coming with their family and children to apply for political asylum. Sources say the decision was made by none other than Lurch. You know who Lurch is, Stephen Miller.
We shall do.
Yeah. According to Mark Rosenbaum, a lawyer involved in negotiations for the immigrants, he said there was an $8 million settlement to be given by the U.S. government for psychiatric counseling, and it was agreed on by both lawyers representing the migrant families and lawyers for the Justice Department. He said many of these children thought their parents had deliberately abandoned them. The longer that trauma goes unredressed, the more severe the consequences for life are. So we had a deal, we had a good deal to get them, and they needed bilingual family psychiatric help or psychology help. But Lurch said no and delayed any child from getting any family counseling for over 7 months until finally a court ruled that the U.S. government, instead of giving $8 million, had to give $14 million. But it delayed counseling for these children for 7 months. Isn't that terrible?
Wow.
In related news, Lurch is expecting a child. His wife is pregnant.
Really?
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes. All right. Right. He should.
People are bringing kids in this world.
Yeah.
I would be so mad if that was my dad.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I would look up like,
you'd be like, Dad, we ain't Zooming for Thanksgiving. Goodbye, right?
Right.
Right.
Meanwhile, a third of the nurses who have died of coronavirus, this is a very interesting statistic, sad but interesting, are Filipinos. One third of the nurses who died of COVID in the United States are Filipino, yet they only make up 4% of the nursing population in the United States.
Oh, no.
So how is that? In a September report by the National Nurses United, they found that 67 of the 213 registered nurses who died of COVID in the United States were Filipino. And since then, the death toll has increased. But they don't have an answer to why that is. I don't know if it's cultural or something, that Filipinos or Filipinas are not doing that. Nobody knows what the answer is to this right now. I don't have the slightest idea why that would be.
Wow.
But that's a very sad but interesting statistic.
And
I have so many Filipino friends in the medical field. I'm gonna have to check in on my friends.
Yeah. I mean, a lot are. There's a lot of one of the ways to come from the Philippines for years and years and years was registered nurse. So because it was an easy job sponsorship, because you didn't have to do a labor certification, prove the unavailability of U.S. workers. You just had to get a job offer and show that you passed all your required tests and licensing tests in the Philippines for the United States to work as a nurse, and have a job offer from a nursing home or and you got approved from a nursing home or a hospital. So it was very easy. Filipinas and Filipinos, they had like hundreds and hundreds of universities, churning out nurses and physical therapists and occupational therapists to come to the United States because they were very easy sponsorships. But that's very sad. So I don't know why that is.
Especially the fact that they're out there trying to, they over here working for us and putting their life on the line.
Everybody, yeah.
Sad.
Meanwhile, 267,000 deaths and counting. Hospitalizations of COVID patients in the United States reached a record of 93,000 people on Sunday. And some states, like Iowa, North Dakota, and Kansas, they don't have any beds anymore. Now, in hopeful news, in vaccine news, Pfizer is expected to get an approval for their vaccine by sometime a little after December 10th. There's going to be a public hearing for Pfizer's vaccine on December 10th, and shortly thereafter, there will be a final vote. According to news reports, they have already moved their vaccines into different holding areas within the United States of America. And once they do get approval, they will be able to, within 24 hours, start vaccinating people. The vaccinations are going to start with medical doctors, frontline nurses, frontline workers. It's then going to go to the elderly and those who are sick and frail. So there's going to be no vaccine for Yo-Yo and Vanessa, at least until April or May. In related news, Moderna, which is also preparing vaccines for the United States of America. This is in the United States of America, so if you're in other parts of the world, this may not apply to you. But certainly in the United States of America, Moderna also says that they have applied for approval of their vaccine. According to their submission to the FDA, 94% of the effective at preventing anyone from getting any symptoms of COVID, 100% effective that if you do get symptoms of COVID after taking this vaccine, it is not severe COVID where you would require hospitalization. That is their submission. 100% effective that nobody would need hospitalization if you take this. That is what their submission is to the FDA. So Moderna's is actually, at least according to their submission, more effective than Pfizer's. They use similar RNA technology, but it's two different vaccinations. Pfizer's is 94% effective. Moderna's saying they are 100% effective. And when you say effective, meaning you don't have to go to the hospital. You may get a sniffle, but you don't have to go to the hospital. You're going to live. You're going to survive. No matter how sick you are, you're going to die one day, but you're not going to die of COVID. That's what Moderna is saying right now. And they believe that they will be able to start giving their vaccinations on December 21st. Now, there's 28 days. It's going to be very hard how they do this because you have to keep these vaccines in very cold, refrigerated units that are like minus 100 degrees or minus 80 degrees, something extraordinarily cold. It could only stay out in the open for up to 12 hours at a time. And you have to take your vaccination exactly 28 days apart.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yes. But if you follow all of those guidelines, according to Moderna, it's going to be 100% effective. I'll tell you my opinion on all of this. I'll tell you my opinion on all of this. Back in the 1970s, when John Travolta was a very young man, he was in a movie called The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. You ever hear that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was like one of his first movies ever. This was before he was on Welcome Back, Kotter. So, you know, anybody who's like a real, TV
John
buff,
Travolta.
or John Travolta fan would remember before Saturday Night Fever, he was on a sitcom called Welcome Back, Kotter. Before Welcome Back, Kotter, he was the Bubble Boy. He was the original Bubble Boy. And in the movie, he just wants to live. And the whole movie is, I want to live, I want to live, I want to live. And I'm sorry, I'm giving you the spoiler, but the movie's 50 years old. So if you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to see it. So the spoiler alert is, at the end of the movie, John Travolta says, damn it, I just want to live. And he rips open his bubble and he goes running out into the world and he kisses this girl. But then he, unfortunately, within a minute he dies. But for that 1 minute, he lived. And, for every person who says they're not going to take the vaccine, this is my opinion on it. When you start seeing people taking the vaccine and living and traveling, and by the way, I'll tell you one other thing which I think is going to happen. People are going to say, I'm John Travolta, and I'm coming out of this damn bubble, and I want to live, and I'm taking the goddamn vaccine because I got to live. All right? That's what's going to happen. And I'll tell you what also is going to happen. I'm starting to see some rumblings by the airlines that once this COVID vaccine comes out, they're going to require that you are vaccinated to get on an airplane. And I think as part of a U.S. government bailout of the airlines that will be coming out, I could just see this happening, that the U.S. airlines are going to get more government aid. There's going to be another bailout soon, whether it's, in December, something Trump signs, because now the election's over and they do need to do another bailout in the United States. They were waiting for this election. They need to bail out the states. They need to bail out airlines. They need to give more unemployment benefits. What Schumer said, unemployment benefits on steroids. That $600 that people were getting. They have to do it again because unemployment's creeping up. COVID's creeping up. And I believe that it's just my opinion. I have no idea. I just read some things that people were saying about it, but I haven't seen anything specific. I think the airlines are going to make people, if you want to travel, you got to show you have a vaccine or you're not allowed on the plane. And I think that's going to be part of, it's my opinion, I don't know this for a fact, I think it's going to be part of the COVID bailout that the U.S. government has to give the airlines, because other than that, they're not going to survive into next year until the vaccines come. So I think with all of that, people were living in a bubble. We're all John Travolta living in a bubble and just wanting to live. And, people want to travel, get on a plane. I think ultimately people are going to end up, no matter what you say, it's my opinion, I think people are going to end up taking it.
Yeah, they're going to find a way.
I think they're going to.
I was talking to my colleague about it today. She had asked me, she's like, oh, if they release this vaccine, like, would you take it? I was like, well, I just feel like it's something that we kind of have to do in order for us not to wear these masks. And she's like, I'm just not sure. It just takes years for people to prove if a vaccine and they're just coming up with it too quickly, she said. So I don't necessarily trust it. I was like, well, sis, it's 2021 and things are changing and I'm just trying to stay alive. Stay alive.
Right.
All right. So why don't you guys, while I figure out where my fuzzy news is, why don't you tell us what you see in the comment section about people's Thanksgivings while I figure out where my fuzzy news is here. How's that?
Yes. We have a lot. So we love to see that the squad, y'all are thankful for so many things. Our first one that we have is Dahlia Gordon Woodard saying, Brad, one of the things I'm thankful for is that you guys are a part of my life. Thank you. Which is so nice.
That's very nice. That is very nice. Yes, very nice. What else? What do you see, Vanessa?
I have one on YouTube from Maxine Gowie. I am thankful for health, job, and my son. I had dedicated this year to self-love for me and found myself to be much more happier. So take care of yourself, everyone.
Oh, very nice. What else you see there, Yo-Yo?
Yes, we have Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying, I'm thankful for my family and Brad team family. So simple as that.
Very nice.
We have another one from Tamika Nelson saying, I'm super thankful for life, good health, food on my table, my friends, my haters, because they make me strong.
Gotta love
Every day I am thankful to have a job. I'm also super, super thankful for having Kevin here for his first Thanksgiving. That's a lot to be thankful for.
Wow, that's a lot. That almost sounded like me. I gave a whole list. Tamika with a list.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
We have the fuzziness?
I did, but go on. I want to hear everybody's thank. Yeah.
Yeah, Cordella Douglas saying, Uncle Brad, I just want to give thanks to God for life. While I have life, I have it all, life, health, and my birthday coming up on the 6th. I love God.
All right. Happy birthday.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. A couple more, and then we got to get into some fuzziness.
Couple more?
Yeah.
All right.
2 or 3 more. What else you got?
Mika?
That's the one I was going to go for.
Go ahead. Go ahead, boo.
So Stargirl Mika, one of our VIPs, I'm thankful. Check this out, Brad. I'm thankful for Brad checking his DM during his Thanksgiving break and answering my questions. And she said, I'm thankful for life and my family making it to this point of 2020.
there you have it. I always tell people, if you don't get your immigration question here, just follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. There you got it.
There you go.
All right, right from the squad's mouth. I answer the DMs.
This is true.
All right, one more, yo. We're running late here. Everyone's going to kill me.
We are.
All right, we got to get to Fuzzy, and we got a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, last one. Darsh saying, I'm thankful for my mom and life. Also, you guys for keeping me informed as to what's happening.
All right, let's do a very quick Fuzzy Monday. We got to go through this very quickly.
Yes.
Next week we'll get fuzzier. But there was a tiny owl rescued from the Rockefeller Christmas tree after surviving a 200-mile journey. Did you see this owl? And it was
Wait, what?
Save the Rockefeller Christmas tree.
The owl was in the tree that was cut down for Rockefeller Center. And they transported the tree all the way to Rockefeller Center from wherever they got this Christmas tree, the big famous tree in Rockefeller Center. And as
Why does it look like that?
And as it was a cute little baby owl. And look at that cute little baby owl. And as the workers were putting on the lights and I guess the Christmas decorations, they found this cute little owl. And they said, this owl's not going to survive. This owl's going to die.
Right.
But luckily, wildlife experts got involved and got this owl out of the tree and drove the owl all the way back to Oneonta, New York, which was a 200-mile journey, released the owl out into the open, and now the owl is free and living the best life an owl can. There it goes.
Oh.
And there goes the owl, the Christmas tree owl. Wasn't that cute?
That was. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
what's not too cute is that tree. I hope that tree opens up or it does something interesting. Or
what is that tree? What is that?
I don't know. That tree looks a little
I don't
sickly.
believe this is the end result. This tree is 2020.
Yeah, that doesn't look like their best Christmas tree ever, right?
At all.
No. Well, hopefully, I think they always put the lights on like the second week of December or something. So let's see. Let's reserve judgment till all the lights come on. How's that?
Okay, let's
all right. By the way, announcement to all Canadians. Public service announcement to Canadians. According to Canadian officials, do not let the moose lick your car. That is a public service announcement from Canadian officials in Jasper, Canada, a province in Alberta. They have signs asking motorists, don't let the moose lick your cars. Jasper National Park spokesman Steve Young told CNN the moose are obsessed with the salt from the cars. It's one of the things they need for their minerals in their body. They usually get it from salt lakes in the park, but now they realize they can get it from dirty cars. Don't let the moose lick your cars.
That's crazy.
I wonder it should really be don't let the moose lick anything near you, but apparently it's just the car. I mean, if you come
How you don't stop a moose from licking your car?
I don't have the slightest idea how you would be like, shoo, moose.
Right.
Shoo, get away. Get away, moose. What would you do?
Like a puppy.
Yeah, what would you do?
I would not play. Those things are huge.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. I was gonna say, have you guys ever there was this one time I was driving and there's literally a deer crossing the road. Like, if that's a deer, can you imagine a moose?
Right, a moose is way bigger.
I don't know.
Do your things. Do your thing.
Like, what do you do with the moose is licking my car? Right. I'm sorry, Jasper police. I really can't stop the moose from licking my car. All right. Meanwhile, finally, our final fuzzy news of the day. The first ever Christmas song for dogs has been released. A song that claims to be the first ever Christmas single designed exclusively for your canine. The song is called, get this one, Raise the Woof. Get it? Woof, woof. Raise the Woof. It was created.
I see what they did there.
Yeah, you see it. It was created based on scientific research into the ways dogs interact with sound and with input from animal behaviorists. According to the dog, it uses a reggae beat and sounds of bells. Videos posted online show dogs seemingly reacting to the high-frequency sounds. We are playing that song right now. If your dog is going crazy, it's because they're listening to it. So it's not because it's dinner time. It's because we are in the background right now playing Raise the Wolf, but only your dog can hear it, nobody else.
I'm such a blonde because I really was like, wow, really? I can't hear it.
All right, we got to get into our immigration questions because we're running late, but we'll get some more fuzzy news next Monday. In the meantime, in today's Bro Education, I answer the question, what is misrepresentation and how do I avoid doing it? Misrepresentation is lying, telling an untruth. And it's not only telling an untruth and lying, it's knowing you're doing it, and in addition, that it materially affects your case. So for example, if you say, my shirt is blue at the interview when it is red, whether you have a blue shirt or a red shirt on does not materially affect your case. However, if you go on an interview and say, I have 3 kids, when in fact you have 1 child, or you're married when you are single, that may materially affect whether or not you get a visa or a green card. That would be material misrepresentation, and that would be a permanent bar for you ever to get any immigration benefits in the future. All right, let's get into something we like to call, you got a question, I'm going to give you my best answer in getting answers to your immigration questions. Let's go to Lisa in Marietta, Georgia. Lisa, you've been waiting 1 hour. Thank you for your patience. What can I do to help you?
It's all right, Brad. I don't mind staying. You can be late.
All right,
I'm sure we love it.
Thank you. What's going on?
All right, so I'm sure you remember a couple of weeks ago, that was my birthday, I called you on. Okay. Anyway, 2, possibly 3 questions. First question. My husband he's in Nigeria, and he's wanting to move to South Africa. He's saying things are very bad, kidnappings, riots, what have you. And so my question is can he switch with NVC stage, by the way? Can he switch his interview from Lagos, Nigeria to South Africa without any issue, or does he have to stay in his own country?
If he is he doesn't have to stay in his own country. He can go to South Africa. If he ends up having some lawful status in South Africa, you can request the U.S. Embassy in South Africa to take the case. There's no guarantee they will, but you could certainly make that request. But worst comes to worst, he'll get a visa appointment in Nigeria. He doesn't have to live in Nigeria waiting for his visa appointment. He can go to South Africa, and when he gets his visa appointment, he can fly back to Nigeria for the visa appointment.
Thank you. That was part of the scenario. Oh my God, thank you.
Okay. But you're entitled to request an embassy to process you in a third country, but they have a right to say no. But you can always request it.
As long as he can get to the appointment, I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Well, this is a follow-up question. I'm going to be leaving to go spend 2 months over there with him, and so this is all assumption, right? So I'm assuming I'm going to have an interview as well here. Is there any way that I could schedule my interview to coincide with his when he has his, if it's during that time that I'm there?
You're not going to get an interview. So the only interview is his. But if you are in Africa with him when he gets his interview, it would be great if you go, because you'll be able to establish to a much greater certainty that this is a legit marriage.
Oh, okay. So next, the last question. That last question. So, again, we don't know when the interview is going to come up. However, I noticed that in the DS 260 that the civil documents, he's got to present the marriage certificate. I haven't set a date of when I'm going over there, but I found out it's customary, their culture, that they want the women to hold on to the marriage certificate. I have it, and I'm still in the States. Great. So how can he, since he wouldn't have the original, is there a way that we could, He
has to, when the time comes for the final interview, certainly if you're going to be in Africa, you just bring that original with you. But if you're not going to be with him, you're just going to have to get him the original, or they're not going to give him a visa. You have to take.
So he has to have it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to basically take the custom and throw it out the window and just do what you need to do.
Okay. Well, other than that, thank you very much. And the last time I called, I forgot to leave out. I forgot Yo-Yo and Ness-Quick.
They're listening.
Thank you for the services you do as well.
I'm sure. Oh, there he is. Waving. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
Okay. All right, let's go to Philip in Riverside, California. Philip.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I was just wanted to ask you, I got two questions. So,
Philip,
the first question is...
Yeah, now I hear you better.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Philip.
Yeah. So the first question is, I just got my green card like 3 days ago.
Congratulations.
I received my green card, yeah, finally. And before I received my green card, I went for an interview and I had dismissed, I was in the PC 1000 program, it's a pre-trial diversion.
Mm-hmm.
And it was dismissed, so they granted the green card. There is no problem. So, but the thing is, do I need to bring the disposition for the removing the condition on my citizenship as well?
Yes.
Yes. So I have to have it for both of them.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not going to affect
so, okay, sounds good. So yeah, that's the first, and the second one is that can I co-sponsor with a conditional green card? Or
yes.
Yeah, I can. Awesome. So thank you guys for everything.
All right.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Sunny in New York. Sunny.
How you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Good. My question is a little complicated. I hope I can explain you.
I hope.
I have Asylum terminate from the immigration judge because I have that I-360 approved from SIJ.
Mm-hmm.
But after a little while...
You have an I-360 as a special immigrant juvenile?
Yeah, so the immigration judge terminate the Asylum case.
Okay.
But I got revoked that petition. And,
you got what? You got a what?
I got it revoked, the I-360.
You got it revoked?
Yeah.
Why did you get it revoked?
Because they will do that some kind of investigation over to my country, and then they revoke that.
What was?
But,
all right. So then you have some sort of fraud.
But also, my question is that I have it Viva I-360 pending.
Okay.
Do I have to do anything with the terminated case?
No.
Or
no, they would have to reinstate. They would have to reserve you with it. If your deportation was terminated, you're not in removal anymore. So
okay.
So
I mean,
the Department of Homeland Security would have to start a new removal case and serve you with a notice to appear.
But like I have a SIJ appeal pending while now, almost 3 years now, and my VAWA is pending also 2 years now. And you think when I'm gonna reach to the adjustment status, do I have to terminate something before? With the immigration court?
I don't think you have to do anything with the immigration court because the judge already terminated your deportation based on what you're telling me. So if that's then you would just file an adjustment. You know, when you're a special immigrant juvenile, you're not a juvenile anymore if you're married and you have a VAWA case.
I know.
So,
but
you know,
I'm worried about end of the time.
Yeah,
then they're going to say that.
A lot of this is a lot, you know, which is probably more than, you know, you can probably even share on a live show. I would suggest you have a consultation. But to answer your immigration questions, number one, if your case is terminated, you don't have to do anything with the judge. So your specific question is, do you have to do anything with the judge? The answer is no, you're not in deportation anymore. They terminated your deportation. So the only thing you have to do is process either the appeal of your SIJ, process your VAWA case, and then ultimately adjust your status. You don't have to do anything with an immigration judge. For to be before an immigration judge again, immigration would have to start a new deportation case and issue and serve on you a new NTA.
Okay, so that means it's already terminated. I don't have to do anything with that.
I'm giving my advice based on you telling me terminated. The answer is yes.
Yeah, I get it. So I'm saying if any in the future if I get an interview from the VAWA case, so they're not gonna put me back to go back to the immigration court and terminate the case.
No, they're not going to tell you that, but they could serve a new NTA on you and say now you're back in deportation again.
Okay, so if I will receive that approval notice from I-360 from the VAWA, then I don't have to go back to the.
That is right, because somebody who has an approved VAWA can't be deported.
Okay, thank you so much,
You're
sir.
very welcome. Let's go to Sam in Manhattan. Sam.
Yeah, hi, Brad. How are you? I'm good, thank you. So, I'm a green card holder, a 10-year green card holder. But my green card expired in 2012. And I have 4 convictions, actually. I got 2 harassments in New York, 240.26. And I have 2 misdemeanors. It was, I had an ex-girlfriend issue problems.
So are these like assaults or domestic violences?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. All right. So if you have 2 misdemeanors for like some sort of fight or domestic something or other with a girlfriend or wife or whatever, 2 misdemeanors based on these facts you're giving me are most likely crimes of moral turpitude. 2 crimes of moral turpitude are deportable. So when you go to renew your green card or file for your citizenship, you may be facing deportation. What I would suggest you do is this. You're in Manhattan, and it sounds like you don't want to go through all your dirty laundry on the air here, is hold on, make an appointment to come see me. Let me take a look at your dispositions, and I'll tell you what to do. All right? Hold on.
All right.
Let's go to Yash in Chicago. Yash.
Hi, Brad. How are you today?
Good.
Thank you for receiving my call. I have 3 questions for you. So, first question is, so let me, long story short, like I came here on a student visa, and then my parents came, and they're permanent resident right now, and I filed an I-30. Then I filed I-485, and after I filed 485, I received an REF right now for I-8. I'm 26 now.
Okay, so when did your parents file an I-130 for you?
I'm sorry?
When did they file an I-130 for you?
I think, so I already got an approval for I-30. I think it was in 2014,
all right, so your priority date's current.
December.
Your priority date's current, and you remained in legal status on the student visa the whole time?
Yes, I am right now also on my legal status.
So what did they ask for? An I-8 what?
So I filed my I-485 as well, because after I got an approval for I-30, I-130.
What was the RFE for?
So I received an RFE for the sponsor amount, like they have like a limit, said that the amount should be about something around 27,000.
Your parents don't have enough.
Yes. So the problem, the problem happened was my attorney did not file I-864A. Because they both income are satisfied, but they just filed I-864 instead of I-864A. So I received an REF regarding that the sponsor is not capable. So I'm sending them again I-864 and I-864A, both. I'm sending them back right now, filling out everything. So you know what, how can I, how long it takes to, receive the update for I-864? That's my question.
How long it takes to receive the date? What do you mean?
How long it takes to receive, how long it takes to...
It takes 3 days to put something in the mail to immigration, but that can't be your question.
And like what, how, so, and the second question is
that would not have been your question. How long does the mail take to get to immigration?
No, not that. I'm sorry. I mean, like how long they will give me an update, like how long it takes to give me an update. That's what
all right.
Sorry.
All right, so my answer, for those who don't understand what this man is saying, let me break it down. All right, number one, when who's your sponsor, your mother or your father?
You're my parents. Yep,
your parents.
That's
Which
right.
One? Which one? Mom or dad?
My mom and dad, both.
No. Who filed the I-130 for you?
My dad.
Your dad. Your dad is the sponsor. And
yes.
Right. So your dad does an I-864. Now, everybody who lives in the household gets to add their income to your dad's income. That would include your mom, and that would include anybody else in that household. So if you have brothers or sisters who work in that household, they also would do I-864As. And that entire household does an affidavit of support. The main petitioner doing the I-864, everybody else who lives in that household in I-864A, you add up the income of everybody in that household. If it's enough, you're good. If not, then we move on to a new household who will do an I-864, and then everybody else in that household an I-864A. What you're telling me is that your lawyer did an I-864 and never did the I-864As for the people in the household, including your mom and everybody else. So that's the way it should have been done. So after it gets filed and submitted back to immigration, your case is not left the starting line yet. Once you get that information back, it's as if you filed for the first time. And at that point, your case will start moving forward. You should be able to get a work permit, hopefully in about 4 or 5 months after you submit the proper documentation.
Okay. And my second question is I have a lawyer. I want to change my immigration lawyer. Is it possible?
Yes.
In the middle of the
Yes. Let me tell you why.
Sure.
You are the captain of your boat. A lawyer works for you. You don't work for the lawyer. You hire the lawyer. You are the one who it's your life. You decide if you want that lawyer to continue to work for you or not. You can switch lawyers at your whim.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that USCI won't, take any, action or something. Just wanted to double check,
As long as you submit the proper documentation before the RFE expires, then yes, you'll be okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Your case is just delayed, unfortunately.
I'm just wondering, how can I find a good lawyer? Because my lawyer is taking so long, and I have to check every mistakes, because there are several mistakes he did in the before. That's why, right now I want to go with the lawyer who is more, go throughly.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What's wrong with me?
So the problem is the first thing when I was filing I-130.
I didn't ask. You said, "How do you find a good lawyer?"
Yes.
I said, "What's wrong with me?"
Yes, you're a good lawyer. That's for sure. Yes, there we go.
One. Hold on. That's all you need to do. All right, let's go to Ann in Kingston, Jamaica. Ann.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
Hi. So I have 2 questions for you. So my friend, she's visiting in the U.S. right now. She has approved I-130. Her mom, who is a U.S. citizen, filed for her. She's there visiting with her kids, and there are also derivatives on the application. Will she be able to naturalize there, or do her interview there?
You mean adjust her status in the United States?
Yeah.
Okay. It depends. Is her priority date current?
No, her priority date is not current on.
If her priority date is not current, she cannot file an adjustment. Number one. So you got to wait for priority dates to be current. You have to remain in legal status, and you can't file within the first 90 days that you entered America. Those are the rules.
Oh, so even if it's approved, she can't adjust status.
No, your priority date has to be current. You have to be in legal status, and you can't file within the first 90 days of your entry. You need all 3. Okay, let me go through it very slowly. Priority date needs to be current. You have to be in legal status along with your family, and you can't do it within the first 90 days of your entry. Those are my Uncle Brad's 3 rules.
Okay, so I have another question for you. So I worked on the J1 visa in 2018. And I myself is a derivative on an approved I-130 right now, and I recently found out that apparently I owe taxes to IRS. If I clear that taxes, would I be okay?
Well, it's certainly going to affect your case. You should deal with it.
So you said just pay it?
Pay it. Yep.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Jan in Carterville, Illinois. Jan.
Hi, good day, Brad. How are you? I'm doing good. Brad, I came in on a worker sponsorship. We did the perm. We did the combined filing, the 485, 131, 765, and the 140. The workers permit 765 and the 131 was approved. And after that, COVID happened. Company had to let me go.
Oh, gosh.
In the meantime, I found another job with another company that's willing to sponsor. But my previous company put in a withdrawal for the 140. And at this stage, my 485 has been pending for 240 days. So my question to you is just the 140. Will my old company be able to reinstate that 140 so my 485 can just go on?
Yes, because you're allowed to switch employers 180 days after your adjustment has been filed. So the answer is, as long as you have a new employer who can who can step into the shoes of the old employer and can show that they can afford to pay your salary, and you're working in the same job at the same prevailing wage or higher with the same job duties, you're allowed to switch. It's under AC 21. That's the law.
Yeah, I read about that. Just one extra question is, they sent in that withdrawal before the 140 was approved. Will that affect anything?
As long as you say you're going to, did they withdraw did you get any decision from immigration yet?
They just, the only thing that we received back, or that I saw back, was that they withdrawal acknowledgement, just acknowledgement. Okay, but the 140 and the 485 are still active, and they're still pending.
So what you need to do is you need to have your new employer submit a letter with tax returns and a job letter with a full description of your job and what pay you're getting, and you're working in the same job at the same wage or higher for a different employer, you're fine under AC 21.
Okay, perfect. All right. And if you can put me through, I'd like to book a consultation.
Hold on 1 second. All right, let's go to Francisco in Mexico City. Francisco.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Mexico City.
All right, this is New York City. What's going on?
Well, I have a question.
Sure.
My mother, USA citizen, she made a petition for me, my wife, and my 2 daughters. Those days my daughters were 12 and 5. Those days. Mm-hmm. And last year, 2019, we received a letter from NBC to send all the information. We were gathering the information and looking for a sponsor. While we were doing that in July this year, my daughters were removed from the list. Now they are 28 and 33, but they are still single. Can we do something to restore them with the CSPA, with the Child Status Protection?
Yeah, what the law says is, and I don't know because I would have to do the math, which I can't do without looking at the paperwork. But let me tell you how you can do the math and you can figure it out, okay? What the law says is that you get to add on to the age of your children the time it took for the I-130 to get approved. That was filed. Who filed for you again?
My mother. She's a USA.
All right. So let's say mom filed for you. I'm making this up. I don't know. In January 1st, 2005. And the case the I-130 got approved on January 1st, 2015. It took them 10 years to approve this I-130. You get to add 10 years onto your daughter's lives so that they don't fall off the case until they reach 31. Provided that they file and you file the DS-230s and pay the NVC fees before they fall off the case. If you pay the NVC fees and you file a DS-230 before they fall off the case, then their age is frozen and they get to stay on. So it depends when all of that happened. And by the way, you have to do it within 1 year of visa availability. So that's a math issue. It's a math question that I can't do without looking at the paperwork.
Yeah, the real numbers were the petition was made in 1998, and it was authorized in 2002. It took only 4 years.
Yeah, so then they're off the case then, unless you paid the DS-230s and the filing fees years and years and years ago, which you...
No, we did not pay them.
Right. So unfortunately, they're off the case then.
So there's nothing we can do.
For them, no. After you get your green cards, you can turn around and file for them, or we can have a consultation, figure out some independent way for them to get their green cards.
All righty.
All right.
Thank you so much, Brad.
All right, good luck. All right, let's go to Kenny in Dallas. Kenny.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Oh, good. I'm kind of up here. Hey, I'm trying to receive my my wife's passport from ICE, and they've been closed since March, and I've been going over there trying to see what time they reopen.
Why do they have your wife's passport?
I mean, we had to check in a few times because it was a little confusion, claiming that what is that I-94 expire. But since the time she received the work permit, green card, and everything,
she has a green card now?
Yeah.
All right. So
Go ahead.
Why don't you just go? Why don't you just? Where's she from?
Oh, Nigeria.
Can she replace the passport from Nigeria? Just go to the Nigerian.
Yeah. I'm looking into that. I'm looking at that right now because they have a.
That to me would be easier than trying to get the old passport back from ICE. But you can try both. But if she has a green card, whichever way, I would apply for a new one. Try to get the old one, and whatever you get first.
Oh, okay. And one more question. When is the perfect time to remove the condition? Green card expired.
You have to do it 90 days, within 90 days of the expiration of the green card.
And what form do you fill out?
I-751.
I-751, and just submit supporting documents and all that?
Right. Submit proof that you and your wife live together and you have a financial relationship.
Okay. And one more question. Would it be a problem because when I filed the taxes, her last name was on her Social Security? Would that be a problem?
You mean her maiden name?
Maiden name, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. She doesn't have to take your married name. That's fine.
Okay. All right, no problem. Appreciate it.
All right, best of luck. All right, let's go to Kevin.
You on the radio?
Kevin.
Hi. Hello. I'm good. I've been listening to your show.
Thank you.
I have a few questions. I came here on a 90-day fiance. I got married in 2014, but I ended up getting sick and my wife divorced me. Then I went ahead and did the VAWA, but my baby mom messed that up because I had domestic violence with her, and she put a restraining order on me, and she brought the immigration. When I went on my interview, they attempt to deny it, then they deny it. Now I'm married to my new wife, and we put it in the paperwork, but I have a question. When you put in the paperwork and you get a affidavit of support, do they need her taxes too?
First of all, you're going about this all the wrong way. Okay, you could be married and be in the greatest relationship in the world. If you came on a 90-day fiance visa, you could only get your green card through your initial marriage by adjusting your status. Other than that, you got to do a provisional waiver, go home, and come back. So you can't get married to a second woman and adjust your status, or a third woman and adjust your status. Because you came on a fiance visa. What you can do is they have something called matter assesse. Matter assesse says that if... you know what? Everyone's screaming on that phone. They need to have a consultation, or let somebody speak to Kevin in Camden, New Jersey, and not have 1,000 people screaming in the background, and then I'll be happy to help him. I don't know if anyone's listening to me there. But he's doing everything wrong. Let's go to Albert in Minneapolis. Albert.
Yeah, hi, Brett.
How you doing?
Good, and you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I want to ask a question. If you are doing the LRIF, do you have to fill in the I-944?
The Liberian refugee, the Liberian...
Yeah, immigration permit. Yeah.
You need to do all of that, yes.
Oh, because I thought they say doing refugees, you don't need...
Well, no, it's the amnesty. You still have to do everything.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Let's go to Samin in Queens. Samin.
Hello, Samin.
Samin.
Yes, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How's my younger brother Yo-Yo? He's all right?
I don't know. We got to ask him. Yo-Yo, you okay? Thumbs up,
Yo-Yo.
Is he there?
Yeah. Okay. I hope everything is good.
Yo-Yo is in the comments. There he is. All right. What's
already? Okay. I just call you to make sure to tell you the updates. Remember, I told you that I'm going to file my citizenship last month. I did it, and also I asked you first another question that I have one misdemeanor in 2007, and that's the only one I have in my record. But you say when you file the citizenship this month, make sure get that record from the police station or court and submit with it. I did that, and now finally I received my receipt from the USCIS that they accept the application, receive it, and they put the priority date, all day receiving date.
Just out of curiosity, is there a question, or you're just updating me on your life?
Okay, they didn't put on the receipt a check. I send the fees, which is a certified check from my account. It's not my personal check. It's like certified check.
Right.
So they didn't put the amount that they received the amount as well. So do you think they're gonna send me another notice to say, which is gonna say the?
You have a receipt notice that they accepted, they received your citizenship.
And yeah, they also saying that go to online. We recommend that go online. Even if you don't go online, make an online account. We're still gonna process your case and blah blah blah. all those.
You have a receipt for your naturalization, then you're okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they put the case number and everything, the season number and everything.
Then you're okay. Then everything's fine.
Okay, because usually they send the payment to on the right side in the top corner this much amount they receive it. They didn't put that.
I'm not sure what you're looking at, but as long as you have a receipt notice that says they've received your N-400 application, they wouldn't.
Yes.
They would not send it a receipt notice if there was no filing fee attached.
Okay, all right. Now the second question is that remember, I just told you too that I have one misdemeanor only, and since I have a green card, 10 years of green card, whenever I went back to Pakistan visit and I come back, they on the front counter in the airport, it was very good. They don't bother, they speak very nice. But if they see something, they put your passport, your green card, your everything in kind of plastic file, and they take you backside somewhere in the back room.
Right.
And then they just let you sit and you wait a couple times. Then they say, okay, you go ahead.
Right.
And then last time I asked 2017, my last week visit, I said, ma'am, could you tell me why I have to come over here? She said, because you have a criminal record, means like the same thing, misdemeanor. How I can resolve this?
You'll be a U.S. citizen. You don't have to deal with it anymore.
Once I become a U.S. citizen, then I don't have to deal with it?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's the easiest way to deal with it. You're dealing with it. That's how you deal with it.
So until that, I have to stay with them.
Unfortunately, I mean, you can write them and request to be taken out of the lookout system, but they're not going to do that right now. Just become a citizen, and you'll be done.
Okay, so you told me that the receipt is going to take 2 months, but they send me within a month, which is similar. But do you think how long they're going to send me for the fingerprint biometric?
I don't think they're going to fingerprint you. They're going to use your old fingerprint, but you should hopefully you'll be a citizen in less than a year.
Less than a year? Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, Brad.
Good luck.
God bless you.
Okay.
You are the best. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Blanca in Chicago. Blanca.
Hi, Brad. Awesome show.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Just a quick question. I'm wondering if I could sponsor my husband. I've been married to him for 19 years, but he had an issue back in '99. He was trying to enter the country with a fake certificate.
What kind
Is there
of
any
certificate?
type of birth certificate?
Say he was a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
How old was he at the time?
He was 23, I believe.
I would have to look at the records, because if you make a false claim to U.S. citizenship, that's a permanent bar to ever getting a green card. There's no waiver. There's also laws that say if you timely retracted your false claim to U.S. citizenship, that would not be a bar. It would just be a misrepresentation. So I would have to look at the records and see exactly what happened, how long it took him to retract, or whether he insisted he was a citizen for 3 days and then they finally realized he's not and deported him.
Okay, because what he was given at the time he was at the border with the border officer, the border officer told him not to come back to the country for 5 years.
Yeah, but that's for a summary inadmissibility. They always tell you that because they just want to make life easy. They don't want to say you're never allowed back in America, because then they'll have a fight with the guy. So there's 2 reasons why he potentially can't come back. Is he Canadian? Is that what he was doing? He's a Canadian citizen? What was he doing?
No, he's Mexican.
Oh, so he's coming across the border from Mexico. I understand. So there's 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons why he's not allowed to come back. One is he had a summary inadmissibility. That's 5 years at the border. And number 2 is he made a false claim to U.S. citizenship, which may or may not have been timely retracted. If it was timely retracted, he has a misrepresentation, which is a bar for life, but you can do a waiver. Or if it was not timely retracted, he has a false claim to U.S. citizenship, which is also a bar to life, but there is no waiver. So, when they tell you at the border, don't come back for 5 years, they're just trying to make their lives easy, because it's easier to tell somebody 5 years than life. So they only told him half the truth, not the full truth.
Okay, and how do we know what type of...
We have to do what's called a Freedom of Information Act request and get a copy of the immigration records and see what happened, and then take it from there. It's like a doctor needs to take an x-ray before they operate.
And then will immigration tell you all his records? I mean, will they hide anything?
Well, they have the right to withhold some documents if it has something to do with their techniques of law enforcement or something like that. But for the most part, they'll give us the records.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, so hold on one second. Let's go to George in Houston. George.
Yes.
How are
Good
you?
evening, Mr. Bird.
How you doing,
My
George?
name is George. I'm calling from Houston.
Uh-huh.
I got some few questions. I got a denial from the USCIS some few days ago. And my denial is based on my divorce from Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. They said the divorce...
It's not valid.
Sir?
They're saying it's not a real divorce.
Yes, sir.
They're saying that every person from Nigeria gets that same thing now. They say they do an investigation and the divorce is not real, even though it came from the high court in Nigeria. I see that every time. Now, let me ask you this question. Is your divorce real or not? I mean, you would really know.
Yes, sir. It was real.
Okay, so then you need a consultation. We got to fight this out then.
Yeah, but I have a question, sir.
Sure.
The lawyer that I was using at then advised me to do another divorce here, which I did.
Okay.
Now that I got the denial, can I use the new divorce to
Well, if you did a divorce here again, then
Yes, sir.
you would need to remarry your wife again because you're going to base, because if you're using the divorce in Texas, then your marriage occurred to your wife here in America before you divorced in Texas, then you're a bigamist. So if you're going to use that divorce, then you would have to remarry your wife again and then file.
Okay.
All right? And then, that's a solution. If you did it that way, then that's fine. That's a solution too.
Okay, I have to remarry again and then file.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I would like to use you. When I do that,
yeah, hold on. Yeah,
please, let me hold on a second. I think I hold on a second.
Oh, I'll hold.
I appreciate it.
George is asking me to hold. It's just a live show. It's just a second, he said. But we're at 10 seconds. Maybe 15 now. Where are we at now? By the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered, you heard from Stargirl Mika a little earlier in the show. I actually answered DMs. Follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. Drop me a DM. I'll be happy to answer your questions if I can. Or I'll tell you to have a consultation like I just told George. One or the other. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram if you can't handle 2 hours of me, but it can handle 30 seconds of me or 15 seconds story of me. Then Instagram on at Brad Show Live is your place to be. And Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Yes, you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on all social media platforms.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
All right, so in today's Attorney Close-Up, Spar and Bernstein partner and trial attorney David Moreno explains how attorneys at the firm prepare for trial. Let's watch.
In personal injury law, as with criminal defense, as with any form of litigation, in order for you to gain leverage in a case, you have to be willing to litigate. So when the case was early on, we were building the case, we gathered the medical records, we were really diligent with that. We also, in that process, got photographs of our client laying on the ground with the ribs and stringers on top of his body, which also supports the allegation that everything fell on him, which is really great demonstrative evidence that you would use at trial. So prior to the case being at trial, the insurance company didn't value the case because there was no reason for them to. So their first offer to us was $400,000. And being the experienced trial lawyers we said, that's fine. Thank you for that offer. We're going to trial. So instead of sending one attorney, we sent our entire team, an experienced trial team, to show them that we mean business. So we started our trial, and the first part of the trial, the most important part in my opinion, is jury selection. Right? That is our first opportunity to connect with the jury. And because this case was important to our client and important to us, all three of us at different phases of the jury selection made sure that we were there to connect with the jury, to make that initial impression that this is a serious case, we mean business, and we're here to represent our client.
Let's try that again. Let's do something we like to call social media check-in. There we go. I had to crack my neck to get that one done. Yo-Yo, what's going on? What do you got?
All right, Kendo Innocent on YouTube. My master hearing is coming up. What can I do so that the judge will give me an early individual hearing date?
Ask him.
G-Man on YouTube. Why does Potomac keep moving the date back for I-130? This is the second time, back to 2018.
Why does who make what? Where?
Potomac.
I don't know why. Well, I don't know what the question is. Let's go to the next one. I don't even understand what they're asking. Why
Okay,
Potomac, Maryland? Why, in other words, the local adjustment office is processing cases in 2018? COVID, Donald Trump, Stephen Lurch Miller, Republicans, COVID, an Department of Homeland Security, USCIS officers who don't care. I can go on and on and on. Why? Yo-Yo, next.
Bode Onalsil on YouTube. My I-485 has been pending for 3 years. My interview was canceled last year and hasn't been rescheduled. I'm on the 3rd EAD now. What can I do?
A mandamus. Vanessa.
Catherine Barroso on YouTube. My husband left the U.S. on voluntary departure. When he got to his country, his ID and police clearance show as single because he didn't have his marriage license. Will this affect us at the NVC?
No, as long as you can prove it was a real marriage, but you need some waivers depending on why he had to leave on voluntary departure.
Hector Vasquez on YouTube. Can you be deported after RFE is denied for a bad criminal and immigration record?
Yo-Yo, what do you think?
Yes.
Correct. Vanessa.
Asgard Khan on YouTube. I just received an email from NVC saying that my documents are complete and accepted, and NVC will contact the embassy in Trinidad. Does that mean the interview is soon?
It means that your file's being transferred to Trinidad. Let's hope it's soon.
Okay, Orawan Charowen Sukmangkul.
Wow,
on
very
YouTube.
good. Very good, Yo-Yo. Very good with the
Thanks.
name. Yeah.
My family filed I-485, 765, and 131. Now, one of the dependents needs to get back to her home country. Can we withdraw just her case? Will that impact the rest of the family and her future visa?
It would impact her visa. It will not affect the rest of the family. But why don't you let her travel on advance parole? Or why don't you wait for her to get a green card and then go home on a reentry permit? Why give up America? But
Anne-Marie Anderson on YouTube. I am a parent of a U.S. citizen. My approved I-130 is at NVC awaiting interview. I'm in America now for over 3 months and want to stay here. What forms do I file?
What is it again?
So it sounds like one of her children is a U.S. citizen. I am a parent of a U.S. citizen, and their I-130 is approved.
Okay, so you're going to file an I-485, an I-864, an I-765, an I-131, an I-944.
Joseph on Facebook. My husband just got a voluntary departure for his asylum case last week. We also have an interview coming up in December. We didn't have a lawyer. What do you think could happen? We've been married since October 2015 and have 2 children together.
I think if you don't have a lawyer, I think he's going to have a huge problem. So, you know, get a lawyer or you're going to have a problem. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay, Skyla on Instagram. I got married to an American citizen in February of 2018 and filed for my green card. My husband got arrested 8 months after our wedding. I was called for an immigration interview in November 2019 and submitted all the evidence showing that my husband is in jail along with our joint documents. I got mail 3 weeks later to leave the country within 33 days. Then my work permit expired January 2020. I filed for VAWA in January and was asked to do a certificate of conduct. I got a prima facie on September 24th. I also added my 2 kids to the VAWA application because they are in Africa. My question is, can I renew my work authorization or will immigration automatically send it to me?
Immigration is not going to automatically send it to you. You would need, if you filed a VAWA but didn't get but you got your adjustment denied, you're going to have to file a new adjustment with a new I-765.
Rachel on Instagram.
By the way, this is last 2. That was like I have one question in 71 parts.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Instagram.
All right, last
My adjustment status package was just sent to USCIS through my lawyer on October 1st, 2020. I haven't heard from immigration or gotten any receipts from my money order from me and my 2 sons. Does it always take this long? If not, what do I do?
Check to see if your money order got cashed. So go back to the place where you got the money order, see if it got cashed. Sometimes it's taking longer because of COVID, but it's been since September, and now you're 2.5, 3 months into this. They should have cashed your money order by now. So go check on it. If it was cashed, then see who cashed it. Get a copy of it. If it wasn't cashed, say stop the payment. Obviously, your file got lost somewhere. Get your money back and refile a new application.
A joke on Instagram. There's a mistake on my divorce paper already submitted to USCIS. Instead of October 2018, the court wrote October 2017. How can I correct that?
Get the divorce certificate corrected as quickly as possible. Bring the corrected divorce to the interview, point it out to the immigration officer, or perhaps the immigration service will see it before your interview and ask for an RFE. Get it corrected at the court right now and be ready to submit it. All right. So I recently spoke with 17-year-old Haley Taylor Schlitz, who is a law school student at Southern Methodist University, an immigrant rights activist, and the co-author of the Homeschool Alternative, which explores the positives of homeschooling. Haley and I spoke about her accomplishments and experience with at-home learning, which is more relevant than ever as many students are homeschooling during the COVID pandemic. Let's watch. Haley Taylor Schlitz is a law student, a daughter, a sister, a descendant of immigrants from Africa and Europe, and she is only 17 years old. Haley has already graduated with a degree in education and just started law school at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. She and her mother co-authored the book titled The Homeschool Alternative, Incorporating a Homeschool Mindset for the Benefit of Black Children in America. This incredible young woman has also become an advocate on behalf of immigrant families after seeing how recent immigration policies have impacted her own family and friends. Welcome, Haley, and thanks for coming on. You are 17 years old?
Yes.
And you just graduated with an undergraduate degree from where?
Texas Women's University.
Wow. And now you're going to law school at Southern Methodist University, SMU, which is a top-tier law school. And when you graduated with a 4-year degree, what was your degree in education?
Yeah.
You were 16 years old when you graduated. How old were you when you started school?
I was 13 when I started.
So when you're 20 years old, you will be a lawyer.
Yes.
Now, I was a lawyer. I was 24, but I was almost 25 when I became a lawyer. So you're doing it like 5 years earlier than most people. Okay, so what classes are you taking?
I have 5 classes that I'm taking. I'm taking criminal, I'm taking legislation regulation, there's torts, contracts, and legal research and writing.
Okay. So which do you like the best right now? Torts is, for those who don't know, torts would be your accident cases. All right.
Yes.
Did you hear about the Paulsgraf case yet?
Yes.
Poor
we
Mrs.
did talk about that.
Poor Mrs. Paulsgraf. Standing on the train platform. That's an inside law school joke. Nobody else would get it. What made you go to law school? How come you didn't become a doctor like Doogie Howser?
My mom's a doctor actually too, and so originally I was going to at first my major was in chemistry. Actually, I did want to be a doctor, but then I look back more on myself and my own education path and my own journey and how I got to where I was, and I decided that I wanted to be a lawyer because it's one of the top degrees I can get in our nation that will really help me advocate and diversify the gift and talented program in our public school system.
At what point in your life did you start to accelerate your education?
Well, in 4th grade, everything was going well. But in my public school system, from 1st grade to 4th grade is elementary school. I did 1st grade. I was born in California, and so we had moved here when I was just going into 2nd grade. And so I did 1st grade in California. But from 2nd to 4th grade, while I was in public school here, everything was going really well. But then my transition to intermediate school, which is 5th and 6th grade, my transition from 4th to 5th grade is where things started to get a little rocky. I was doing really well in elementary school, straight A's, favorite teachers.
You were like the best student, right? And now you're going into 5th grade, and what happened?
Yeah, and so basically my grades started to fall, and I didn't really care about being smart or being gifted or doing my best. I really only cared about my friends and being able to be pretty or cool or popular. My mom noticed this, and she was like a whole bunch of emotions that she could describe way better, but was nervous and just surprised and just didn't know what was happening. And so she was talking to me about why my grades started to fall, and I was like, I don't care.
Did she feel that your friends were a bad influence on you?
No, they were a little bit, because when I used to be active in class and answer the questions and get A's on tests, and they would be like, yeah, well, that's not very cool. Like, the fact that you're the smartest isn't really cool. What's cool is having, this particular water bottle or having this particular look or whatever was super cool at the time, and being smart wasn't it.
Tell me what your mother was thinking. You say, okay, when public school doesn't work, I'm going to find a gifted school. I'm going to find a good private school. Did your mom look at all of those alternatives before she decided to homeschool you?
Yeah, so she looked at private schools, online schools, and stuff like that. And what she had finally decided on was going to this homeschool co-op sort of thing, where you go to an actual physical building with actual teachers 2 days a week, and the rest of the time you're at home looking online, looking at the assignments they assign online and doing it at home. And so they called themselves like a college-style school, and so she decided on that.
How involved was your mom at home on those 3 days to make sure you were doing the work?
She was extremely involved until after, I guess, my first year of college.
Were you able to speak up in class when there were older kids there?
I was always the student who asked a lot of questions, so I wasn't shy around them. No matter what classroom I was in, it was always me asking questions, because I always really wanted to understand.
Do you feel you missed out on high school not being in a regular public school?
I have a lot of friends. I can do sports. My mom has me signed up for fencing with my brother at a club, and you don't have to attend a school or anything like that to be in the club. I've been to dances.
At what age did you start skipping grades?
I started skipping grades, and I think I skipped a total of 4 or 5 grades in the span of that time. So from 11 to 13.
Your first day of class of undergraduate, tell me how you felt.
I think what was the most intimidating was seeing the professor come in, sit down, and knowing that this is serious. What I get in this class is going to count. It doesn't matter that I'm younger, and it doesn't matter that it's just a summer course. It's still a grade. And just thinking about that was the most intimidating.
Did anybody in college or maybe even in law school now, do you kind of feel weird, why are they looking at me? Like I'm the young kid in the classroom, they're looking at me?
In undergrad, people, I think they looked at me and knew that I was a little younger. It would come up in casual conversation, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm 14, or whatever, however it came up, and they'd be like, wait a second. In law school, everybody knows that I'm 17, but they don't really talk about it.
What was the hardest class that you've taken so far?
In undergrad, I felt like I had a strong grasp on all of my classes, so there was never really a particular class where I was like, this, I don't know how this is going to go. At law school, I also feel like I have a strong grip on all of my classes. I would say the most difficult class for me is probably legal research and writing.
Lawyers write differently than anybody else, but it eventually will come. That was my hardest class in law school too, believe it or not. You got accepted to 9 different law schools. I assume you applied to 9 law schools. You got accepted to all 9. Why did you choose Southern Methodist University to go to law school versus some other of the other law schools that you applied to?
A lot of reasons went into that, but I would say the main ones were the faculty there they're just beautiful people. Everybody there is very accepting. They all want to see me do well. They're, checking in on me often, and they care about me, and so I really, really appreciate that. The students there, like I said, are awesome. They accept me, and they don't, like I said, they don't bring it up. They don't question me. The campus is beautiful. There's no flaws about that campus. It's just gorgeous.
I heard it's an amazing school. You work with this organization, I'm an Immigrant. Tell me about what this is and how you got involved, because you were born in the United States of America. You yourself are not an immigrant, but you consider yourself an immigrant.
I feel like there's a more general sense of immigrant, just like everybody. We're a land of immigrants. And then you also have immigrants who have to go through what America puts them through today. It was unfathomable for me to think that a mother would ever have to tell their children what would happen if she didn't come home one day. what would happen if she got deported from the country. It just seemed outlandish to me. Like, why would you ever make a mother have that conversation with her children? Like, if I'm late to picking you up from school, go to the neighbor's house or something. That just, I don't know. So it didn't truly register with me until recently with everything that's been happening around immigration. And so I feel like that could also happen to my sister. And it like I said, with maturity and my eyes being opened up to these conversations, moms do have to have these conversations. If I don't come home, do this. And that impacts my family in many ways. That's really what got me involved and got me really interested, was my friends and my sister and undergrad, and actually like opening up my eyes to this is actually some people's reality. And it's terrible, but it is. It is. And by the way, very well spoken and very well said. Okay, so tell me about your lineage and tell me about what your family does to help your sister embrace her lineage. So my lineage, on my dad's side, his ancestors immigrated here through Ellis Islands. And so German and Irish on his side is where his ancestors came from. And on my mom's side, they came in slave ships. So on one side, you have the American dream, and on the other side, you have the American nightmare, which is, that's my lineage. And then my sister that was adopted from Ethiopia, and we try to incorporate, Ethiopian culture in our house in every way that we can. My mom sees these super cool, like Ethiopian cultural things that online, like food or music or dances or the language, and any way that she can really incorporate it, especially into my sister's life. Now, you also have co-authored a book. You're an author as well. It's called The Homeschool Alternative, Incorporating a Homeschool Mindset for the Benefit of Black Children in America. Now, this book is specifically addressed to Black children in America, homeschooling them. Why are you addressing Black children specifically versus just all children? It was specifically targeted at Black children, number one, because my mother and I are Black, and my brother and my sister. But then number two was because the Black students are a minority. At the very beginning, when people were thinking of ways to educate our children, minorities were not being thought about. The public school wasn't designed for minorities in mind. Give me an example from either your experience or something you write in your book about what is it in public school counterproductive to a Black child, a Black student, that would not make them succeed, where it's designed for a white child to succeed. Right now, the teacher workforce is primarily white women, and that can be detrimental to students of color and minority students. There's this thing called the Pygmalion effect, where when you expect a student to do well, they do well, and when you don't expect a student to do well, or you expect them to fail, they don't do well or they fail. This whole industry started of education. It wasn't for minority students. It wasn't for Black students. That wasn't who they planned on teaching. That wasn't who they thought would get doctorates and masters. That was crazy. Like, what, teaching a Black student? What do you mean? Like, no. So they didn't think that they had to reflect Black students in any way. They didn't think that they'd have to incorporate Black culture. There wasn't anything like that, because that was crazy. What are some of the strategies that are in this book that you think that homeschooling would be so beneficial, especially to Black children, Black students? Yeah, in the book, it's often mentioned that homeschooling isn't only a practice, but it's also a mindset. Even if you can't necessarily specifically homeschool, because not everybody can homeschool, not everybody has the time, or maybe the money, or the opportunity, or even the knowledge to homeschool. And so even if you can't homeschool your child, you can have a homeschool mindset. And so that's basically where you see every opportunity as a learning opportunity for your student. And so when you're at the store, for example, and there's a sale for pens and it's 50% off or whatever, there's one packet of pens that has 5 pens and another one that has 1 pen in it, you're going to ask your student, or your child in this case, well, which one's the better deal? And things like that is like a homeschool mindset, where like school is everywhere, learning is everywhere. How was it like day to day writing a book with your mom? It was really fun, for starters. I think it was leaning more toward the collaborative side, where almost any opportunity that we had, like if we were in the car or just spending time with each other, we would talk about ideas that we can implement in the book and express what we think about this particular aspect of education or whatever we were talking about. And so, yeah, although we did split up sometimes, here, how about you write this chapter, because my mom may have more knowledge, for example, on how teen brains develop, because she's a doctor. Whereas I might have, more to say about modern education in our public school system because I'm younger. And so we could split it up that way, but most of the time it was very collaborative.
6 years from now, where do you see yourself? What are you doing?
Gosh, I have a lot of huge goals. I guess in 2025, I want to be a practicing lawyer. I like as mentioned earlier, my favorite topic right now is criminal law, and so I could see myself doing something in that. I'm not 100% sure what, if in court or not in court, but nonetheless, I would see myself practicing some sort of criminal law.
What is your ultimate goal?
To be a Supreme Court justice.
I think you're going to be there. 5-10 years from now, where would you like to see America be? What are your dreams for America?
That's a fantastic question. I would like to see it be more progressive and inclusive, and not just inclusive where it's inclusive of its citizens, but inclusive of global ideas. So other countries who are doing great in particular aspects, whether it be education or homelessness or hunger in their country, I would appreciate America trying to be more open toward other countries who are more successful than us in particular aspects. So more inclusive, I would say, on multiple different levels.
Have you reached out to other children? You're changing the world as a 17-year-old. Have you reached out to other children who are changing the world, like Greta Thunberg, who took carbon-free boat across the Atlantic Ocean?
I haven't specifically gotten to talk to Greta yet, but that would be awesome.
That would be cool, right?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But I've talked to other just as bright students who have amazing goals that I'm sure they're going to achieve. So, yeah.
Well, Hayley, you're amazing. I'm going to tell you something. Supreme Court judge, president, something in that realm. I think I see it. All right. Thank you for coming on, Haley Taylor Schlitz, 17-year-old prodigy, brilliant woman, very cute girl, and an amazing bravo. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And good luck in law school.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, Julian, put 50 seconds on the clock. We're a little rusty, but maybe despite the rust,
we got this.
We're going to answer 9 immigration questions in 50 seconds, or my tuchus gets blown to smithereens while you are comfortably in your homes watching and laughing. Are you ready? Let's go.
Yes, we are.
Let's go.
Can a 2-year green card holder file for unemployment?
Yes.
Can I travel with my petitioner for LPR pending?
You can travel as advance parole.
Can I apply for citizenship if I have a criminal record?
It depends what the criminal record is.
Can I get divorced while obtaining my green card?
It depends who's sponsoring you.
I'm on an L1 visa. Can my wife file an L2?
Yes.
Can I complete a medical assistant certification program while OPT?
Yes.
Do I need to account for household members' children in I-864A?
Yes.
Can I enroll for healthcare as a permanent resident?
Yes, of course.
If I'm a green card holder, can I study abroad?
Not for more than 6 months without a re-entry permit. Where are my balloons? Where are the balloons? Balloons! All right, enough celebration. Comments of the day. Julian, comments of the day. What are they? We win. The bot loses. And now we go to comments of the day.
All right, y'all. First comment of the day comes from Don Harriet saying, welcome to all our new squads. Stay, enjoy, and learn from the best immigration lawyer.
All right.
Agreed. Next one, Millie Joe. I just love Brad's energy. He's richly blessed and shares his blessings.
Aw, thank you. Thank you.
Aw, that's nice. Yeah. All right, our third one comes from Deborah Gibson saying, hey, Uncle Brad, a million thanks to you and your wonderful team that are helpful to those seeking answers in this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Actually,
very much.
all over the world.
Thank you.
Not just this country.
Thank you.
And our last Stacy Johnson. Hi, Brad. I am proud of you and the job that you're doing. God bless you. Keep up the great work.
Oh, wow. All nice compliments for me today. My ego's going to be fantastic tonight. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good job, guys. Good job, Julian. Good job, crew.
Thank you, guys.
Adios, squad. We'll see you tomorrow at around 5:30-ish, 6-ish.
So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it.
The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?